Down here at the Bristol Wharf, a little rain and warmer weather came in, washed the snow away. Check out the river. It's all foggy, so cool looking. You can see a heavy line. That line is like whew, so defined. And this boat's been parked out here on the dock for I think a month now. Looks like somebody probably dumped it there. Let's go check it out. It must have an operating bilge pump because it doesn't seem to be sitting too low. And we've had quite a bit of rain and snow. Got this big old log hooked on it. And the tide switches, that'll come right off though. Well, actually it is leaning over. And the ropes aren't too tight. Esprit Cruisers. Yep, this looks like a dumped boat. Watch, there's not being someone in here, right? No. It's actually doesn't stink in here. Hello. Oh yeah, it's taking on some water. Quite a bit. So that's the bilge pump right there, front bilge pump. This thing is definitely gonna sink out here unless somebody does something. This is amazing though. I'm 6'2" and I can stand up in here. This is super cool. Good sized bathroom. A bed up front here. Nice fiberglass hull. Plenty of access to work on the back of the controls. You can just stand up here. It's not like you're getting down in a nook and cranny like you got to. Check out that table. That's all custom made. Got a boat steering wheel, piece of glass. It's definitely one off. Let's see what we got for engines. Yeah, look at that. All complete. Freshwater cooling systems on them too. Oh boy. Unbelievable. The bent pipe, Bristol, PA. Good swim deck on there, and you can see she's leaning off to the port side quite a bit. I'm sure a million people have already reported this thing, but a few days later, a little update on the boat. You can see a bunch of fire trucks out here, and it turns out it has sunk, or at least it's sinking. I think the dock's kind of still just holding it up. I don't know if the gunnels are under or not, but it seems they have to get it pumped out now. And funny thing is, I put a post up about this on the Bristol Facebook. I think a few other people may have done posts too, but just to find out what the scoop was. And apparently it broke loose during a storm, and the Coast Guard tied it up here, and that they were in charge of it. But I'm like, I don't know. There's a foot of water inside of it, you sure? And sure enough, now it should have been pumped out that day. Obviously, I don't know all the details involved with the situation, but based on what I'm seeing, I'm going to say it's a complete failure from the Coast Guard and the borough to have not taken care of that before it sunk, because now it's contaminating the river with oil and gas. You smell gas just sitting here. Real strong odor of it.
I don't know how you got your truck running.
Oh, after it's in the river, yes. It's running, parked over there.
AJ goes, oh no, he got it running. That's my son, right?
But yeah, I can't believe they didn't do anything prior. I just feel like that's a failure on the borough or whoever's in charge. I know the Coast Guard put it there.
We tried. They did try.
Yeah.
They made, they found out, went down the corridor where it came from, right? And they got the location, the owner and everything else, right? But there was just didn't get done.
Yeah,
and
it's a shame because I could have jumped on there with a pump, and just pumped out what was in there because we had all that rain in the
forecast. Like this though now, the back end's under.
Well, it's all under now.
Yeah, so I mean the back end's under, so that's why. But because we came down this morning, Merle, right, myself, right, and we caught my son, and we had a pump, but like, oh no.
Yeah, once the gunnels are under,
we're going to be pumping the river.
Yep.
The Coast Guard said we don't have the resources.
It's ridiculous.
We got to run around. We got to run around. But these two young ladies, they're we call it environmental ones.
They got a Coast Guard coming up. They're going to pump out the contaminated oil and water, the oil that's sitting on top of the surface. And then I think Trevo's fire company's bringing some floats to get it back up is the plan. Probably take them better part of the day. And sorry if I sound like a jerk at all about this situation, but I just feel like it's a shame that it's like a lack of communication. I mean, what was it? I mean, I feel like an idiot for not just grabbing a bilge pump out of my truck that day and pumping out what was in it, but who knows? Maybe somebody drilled a hole in the bottom of it too or something. Insurance job. Apparently the owner's here now too. And from what I'm told, this is the first he knows of this. He didn't know it even broke loose, so I don't know. I guess they weren't able to get in contact with him. And just a final update on that situation. They got everything rectified, so big thumbs up on that. Sorry if I sounded like a jerk blaming the borough for a problem that I guess the Coast Guard, you know, they dumped it there technically for them. But I just don't think it had to sink. And I reached out to the borough and I was told Coast Guard's got it under control, don't mess with it. When in reality, I should have just done the good deed that day and pumped it out. Anyway, also, from what I'm told, the guy that showed up there that day, he was the registered owner, but his story is that he sold it to another guy, never got the title transferred, and that's a big no-no. So it broke loose during a storm, and you always got to wonder when that happens, like, was somebody just trying to get rid of a problem? You know, did he maybe take parts off of it, got it for free, and then not want to deal with it? Who knows? A lot of assumptions, right? But anyway, it was a spill that I didn't think should have happened, and the river's a wonderful place. Spills happen, you know, accidents happen. Heck, I sunk my truck in the river like one guy was mentioning, and I'm sure some oil and gas got in the river at that time. It was at nighttime, but stuff happens. Shouldn't blame the borough. A month's a long time for it to be sitting there, though. Anyway, that's the final conclusion. So thanks for tuning in. See you guys in something else sometime soon. No nonsense, no how miscellaneous. Probably miscellaneous channel. See you guys. I don't even know how I'm holding against these guys. They're pretty good.